look haunted. You've been seen into the spirit world, and you learned something you don't like. It's Kerrigan.
Seems the Overmind made Kerrigan to free the Zerg from something that put him on a collision course with the Protoss. It's all gone wrong. Everything's twisted. And there's something out there that's set to destroy us all.
Zerg. Protoss. He's a strong recess. How terrible. How powerful is something that plays with their fates?
Now, friend Raynor, you must see the Overmind's vision of the future. The end of my people, and of all things. This is our fate, should Kerrigan die.
I don't think I want to see any vision of the Overminds. If Kerrigan's involved, I need to know.
On a distant, shadowed world, the Protoss will make their final stand. Their heroes will gather. Their forces will be marshaled, and they will die bravely. But still, they will die. And my Zerg will be slaves to the hybrid. All will bow before the power of the Fallen One.
Protoss brethren, heed me. The last twilight has fallen. The galaxy burns around us. The Terrans have been consumed. We are all that stands against the Shadow. But if we are to meet our end this day, then we will do so as one. Antaro Tassadar!
Antaro Tassadar. Welcome back to StarCraft Wings of Liberty, Episode 15, In Utter Darkness, and the exciting finale of the Prophecy storyline.
Great One, the vault is prepared. Guard us while we preserve our knowledge for those that may follow. They must not make the mistakes we did.
Okay, so those guys go into that sort of center structure there, and they need time in order to do their research. It's that thing there. And if you protect them and they don't get killed in that time, then you get the Protoss research, which is quite a bit.
I have rallied the last of our great fleet.
Your timing is impeccable, Admiral Arun. When the enemy takes to the air, we will need your support.
And otherwise, for the Zerg research, you have to kill, I think, 2,500 Zerg.
I will be redeemed.
The Zerg performed their function as I planned. My hybrid are proof of this. Now, the last of the Protoss will fulfill their function in death.
So the interesting thing about this mission is, if you just do nothing and get overrun and die, you win. That's all it is, because it's not a mission you can win. Remember, this is a prophecy of the end of the Protoss, and the perpetual enslavement of the Zerg to the hybrid. This is what will happen if we don't allow Kerrigan to live and carry out her destiny, so to speak.
I will erase the demons of the past.
The Zerg are swarming at our flanks. We have to react quickly or our perimeter defenses will fall.
Now the thing is, you will get overrun eventually. No matter how good you are, this mission just completely slaughters you at some point. It's just a matter of how long do you want it to go on. And for us, we want the research, right? So we want to protect the guys in that center unit, and we want to kill 25 enemies before we allow the Zerg to overrun us. And as this mission progresses, you'll see these sort of grand entrances of famous Protoss heroes, and with them, new units become available, like when the Void Ray, starships show up, now you can build Void Rays. When the battle cruisers show up, now you can build battle cruisers, etc. But it's sort of this glorious last stand of, the Protoss and all their heroes. So initially, beyond what we're given to start, you may have noticed I'm summoning Dark Templars and Colossi. And Dark Templars are great at this point because there aren't any enemy detectors coming at you, and Dark Templars are permanently cloaked, so they can kind of just stealth around and kick ass and, really help you out to start.
Teleport successful.
All shall be remade in my name. Behold, my greatest creation.
Now another key is, see these fighter jets that I have grouped off to the left? They have green and blue and orange wings. They have this ability, see there, it kind of is like Zeratul Void Prism, where it lifts enemies up and paralyzes them in that kind of void ball. That's a real key to this mission, and we're going to have to make more of those Phoenix jet fighters and keep them around in order to do that, crowd control the really hard enemies.
I'm detecting a large amount of Zerg activity in their hive clusters. Prepare for an assault.
I will comply.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Engaging the enemy.
I will erase the demons.
So as you can see, it very quickly escalates and gets very, very intense. And you need to know exactly where to move next and where the next wave is coming from. As for these photon cannons, they're purely distraction. I mean, they do a little bit of help, but they're really just there to give the wave something to pay attention to while you do your best to scramble and defend. If you don't use them, then the enemies just charge that center structure where your guys are researching, and you lose the research.
Our Void Rays are ready to do their part. Disengage prison inhibitors and concentrate all batteries on the Hive.
Well met, great Mohandar. Or ire.
Okay, and there's our next hero, and with him, Void Rays, which are those sort of spinning circular starships that shoot the Void Ray. It's that kind of laser line. And from this point on, we're going to have to shift to primarily air units, more of the Phoenix for crowd control, and then the Void Rays, and then later battle cruisers. What happens is too many ground units start to come for you to properly maintain your Colossi or any other, and detectors come, so you can't really use Dark Templars effectively anymore. So what we did right there is really good. We survived, but from here on out it's going to be primarily making air units. And the other thing, this whole time I've been researching upgrades for both land and air units. I've got 2 barracks and 2 robotics bays grouped together and rallying in one spot. I've got 2 of the starports, whatever they're called, the kind of buildings that make fighter jets and starships. I've got 2 of them linked together and rallied. So there's quite a bit going on in the sort of resource management and army building side of things.
You address me?
And again, kind of like the dig, you might not realize that it's happening just sitting here watching the fights, but you have to do everything in just exactly the right order, and if you screw up, you're gonna lose.
Upgrade complete. Paradactyl.
Okay, and you can see just how insane this mission is and how much you have to take care of and micromanage. And I gotta say, other than the final mission, this is probably the hardest mission in the game. And, it fits with the whole 4-mission arc of the Prophecy line, right? This is the kind of like the final mission of a mini game that is 4 missions long. And the first mission of the Prophecy line started with, a hero mission, just like the whole Wings of Liberty started with a small group hero mission. And then the second and third got progressively harder and more complicated with base building and stuff like that. So even though it's just 4 missions, it has this sort of driving arc to it that make it feel like a full-blown mini game within a game.
Every hand is turned against you. Even the ground beneath your feet carries the seeds of your destruction.
This is the hour of truth, noble Templar. Let the enemy know the wrath of Ire's champions.
Executor Celendis, unleash the full power of your forces. There may be no tomorrow.
Intaro Tassadar, Zeratul.
All right, so another hero arrives with reinforcement, and now we can make battle cruisers from the starport. I mean, again, that's not what the building's called in Protoss, but it's a starport. It's where spaceships are made. So this is cool because the battle cruisers really help a lot. They can attack land and air units, and it just looks like we have a big, massive force here, but it so quickly gets overrun. It's quite something. Correction, they're called carriers, not battle cruisers. I think what Terran called their, flagship, top of the line starship is battle cruisers, but these are called carriers.
Base is under attack.
Now here I'm warping in gateways. That's what the barracks are called, by the way, gateways. And not because I'm going to use them to summon more units. I'm actually just creating a wall there on that one ramp. So that's all I was doing there. And it won't last, it's just a distraction.
I stalk through the stars. Not the rock. I will comply.
Okay, nice use of the Phoenix in their crowd control, stun, lift up, void ball move. And that's another great example of just something you have to learn out of nowhere, instantly, right? I mean, it's bad enough you have to learn Protoss for 4 missions, but we never got those units until right now, this mission. I didn't know it was there. I didn't know what it did. You know what I mean? So a lot of trial and error and just things thrown at you that you have to master really quickly. It makes it hard.
As I was your beginning, so shall I be your end. I will reign at your Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Your warriors have engaged in you require more rescue gas. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack.
even past.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Upgrade complete. We face the enemy. Carrier has arrived.
Our glory will
Shozak Maknul.
All right, that last big push of waves was pretty much going to mark the end of the first research. It looks like there's a few seconds left, but we're going to abandon that once we get the research and then move up to this back portion of the base and just kind of turtle up in here and then try to get to 2,500 enemies slain before we end the mission.
You have no place to hide and nowhere to run. Base is under attack. We have met the enemy. Carrier has arrived. Highlight for hire. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack.
From the shadows,
If only we had acted sooner.
And there goes Zeratul, meeting a glorious end in battle. And just like him, all the rest of these Protoss and all these other Protoss heroes are about to meet their end.
Highlight for ire.
So you can see there, I don't know if you notice how much time it bought us, but having those like 4 or 5 or 6 gateways for distraction and choking in the upper part of this level that I built earlier, that's what they were for.
Carrier has arrived.
This is pretty frustrating because I got to the point where I would finally get through the first part and get the Protoss research, but I couldn't get enough enemies slain. So it took a lot of tries. And of course I'd get almost all the way through the whole mission, and then I would miss it by sometimes like 50 enemies slain and then have to start over, right? So this is one of those missions that I got stuck on, and I believe it took me over 8 hours of trial and error until I finally got this good take. But this is a pretty awesome ending, and I hope you enjoy it.
This is Hieron Artanis, commanding the Shield of Iron. Our matrix fields are within range. Engaging mass recall.
Glory of battle.
My brethren, hear me, but there is little time left. All that remains of our race our civilization, and those that stand beside you now. Trust in each other. Strike as one will. Let our last stand burn a memory so bright, we will be remembered forever. Entaro Tassadar!
Your efforts are futile. Harbingers will usher in a new age.
Strength in unity.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Okay, so a very timely introduction from the final hero, Hierarch Artanis, and the mothership, which has the kind of teleport ability. You saw it kind of suck all of us to it when it first showed up. And then also notice it has a cloaking ability. All the ships near it are cloaked. So very timely stuff and pretty moving words. And all that remains now is to try to get this kill count to 2,500 for the research. And then from there, you know, to try to die with as much dignity as possible in a situation like this. So I hope you have enjoyed the Prophecy questline, and we'll see you in the next mission.
There's just too many of them. I'll return.
Kerrigan. How could we have known?
As I was your beginning, so shall I be. I love it when a plan comes together.
Friend Raynor, you now bear witness to the truth. There is a malevolent presence within the void that seeks to destroy everything we hold dear. Could this fallen one be Azel Naga? After so long, could the gods themselves seek our destruction? And Kerrigan, I can hardly believe the wretched Queen of Blades will prevent the destruction of all that we know. Raynor, you may soon hold Kerrigan's fate in your hands. I know only that she must live. Be wary, old friend. The hounds of the void